Welcome back to our channel. We are BitcoinMagazine.nl and we are live today from the Crypto Congress 2025. If you haven't heard of it before, guess what? This is the first edition and we are doing it really, really well. It's a beautiful building. We are in the heart of Amsterdam. IEX is next door. Beleggersfeer is taking place right here. And we are making sure to bring you all of the newest information. And to do that, I'm sitting with one of the most important people today. She was the first keynote speaker and she was part of the first panel right here at Crypto Congress. So without any further ado, Kim, how are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing really well.
Okay, so you had the first keynote today. How did that feel?
I was really honored, to be honest, because it was the first time for me that I could open a talk and a congress in the last 8 years. So I think that's really special.
It is something that kind of shows what's happening right now with the actual crypto movement in the Netherlands. If I would have told you 8 years ago you'd be the first to open an event, you would have said I wouldn't even be on stage because women were never part of the equation 8 years ago. 8 years later, you are opening the event, you're on the first panel, and the first panel went really well. What did you take away from it?
Yes, well, I took away from it, that there's happening a lot, right? When I was preparing as well for today and when I was talking on stage today, it all comes now really together because also 8 years ago, we said like in 5 years, crypto is mainstream and next year this and this will happen. But now really like the regulation, also the inflow of liquidity with larger players in the market is really coming together. So I really noticed that companies are coming to us now. And I think that's a very, very big difference. And I think all the intersections also with other technologies, it's coming now, in one place. So that's really different.
The focus of what you had this morning was 2026.
Yes.
But we're still in 2025.
Yes.
We still have about 60 days, which is a lot when it comes to crypto. So before we move to 2026, where do you see us going in the next 6 to 8 weeks?
Yeah, I think from an enterprise perspective, I think companies are preparing, I would say. So they prepare now. And of course, they also need to prepare after 6 to 8 weeks, but at least thinking about what will we do in 2026. So I think strategies are really being generated. I think also for the crypto native companies, this is happening, right? So they have all these new regulations, they need to comply, but they also still need to convince their retail clients that it's still a good idea to trade with them. So I really think the big plans for 2026 are made now until the end of the year. And with regards to crypto, I think it's really focused on what is set in the market, right? So we see if something happens in the US, I think the US is really dominating at the moment. Yeah, prices are going up and down. So I think it will be exciting as well the coming weeks. Yeah.
Not only that, I would say this is not a trick question, but as you stand on stage and you predict a crypto market, let's be honest. The crypto market can change liquidity over multi-million dollars in a matter of 6 to 8 hours.
Yes.
You could go from a 140 to 100K valuation in 1 hour. How do you actually stand there and expect people to believe what you're saying if you are dealing with such a volatile market?
That's a very good question. From my personal perspective and from my professional perspective, I'm working mainly at this moment with the enterprise side, so helping clients navigating this field, and that's not really focused on the investment side. But of course, the infrastructure, the technology behind it is really crucial in what kind of choices they are making. So if you talk about, for example, a stablecoin, on what kind of infrastructure is it built, what kind of company is behind it. So I think that are really crucial factors. And I think that will go and evolve also if the crypto market is going down. I think we have really now that moment. So in the past, so like 3, 4, 5 years ago, if there was on a news website, Bitcoin is going down and crypto is criminal money, then enterprises were like, we're not going to use this. But I think now, also with the other advantages, so more use cases, more possibilities to use the technology and also, for example, stablecoins, I think, they can see this separately. And also, to answer your question, due to the fact that it's already existing for 16 years now, Bitcoin, we really see more maturity, more belief, and we also saw a lot of cycles. So it is going up and down, but the normal trading market with stocks and other financial instruments is also going up and down. Indeed, not that volatile as crypto, but I still think, people know it now, right? It's not really like scarcity of, oh, Bitcoin is going now to 80 or 90K.
Scare and the panic is a little bit gone.
Yes, I really do believe that. So that's why I can say on stage 2026 will be a good year.
Very good. Now, as you pointed out, there's maturity. But if there's been so much maturity, why is it that we here in the Netherlands are still struggling to make crypto accepted? For example, the government tried to establish a national reserve. The person who actually brought it forward, Yeri, got shut down by everybody.
Yeah.
Not even like a few, everybody said no. But how do you foresee the Netherlands making the necessary changes to adopt? First step would be a national reserve. Do you think that will ever happen?
Yeah, I'm really doubting that part indeed, because you see this is happening in the US, right? And I think that gives a lot of traction, because then you can say you need to pay us as well in crypto or in stablecoins. So I think that is really, really big difference. I know from experience whilst working at a bank a few years ago that, it is really hard with the regulations and with the parties in the Netherlands that keep control of our markets to move this forward. I know that lately things have changed, also due to the market in crypto asset regulation, that they are more open. They're also working more experts, I think, at the government and as well at the AFM, DNB. So I know this is changing. But it's going really slow, and still, I think it can be more stimulated, right? I think it's also always a bit a strange comparison, because on the one hand, we say we have an innovative climate, we welcome every startup scale up. Yeah, you need to be here in the Netherlands.
They say that.
They say that. And I also know from exchanges and other parties that are going for their license, they come here because we are very strict. And if you get your license in the Netherlands, then people look differently at you than that you get your license in another country in Europe.
Validation.
It's a validation. So it also has an upside. But I have doubts, and also I'm a bit afraid at this moment that Europe, and not only the Netherlands, is really lacking behind. Because the US is going so fast indeed with adopting it in the government and other steps they are taking. And the current trading market is as well US dollar dominated. But if you want to at least give a bit of pushback. I think they're now focusing on their central bank digital currency instead of pushing a euro stablecoin. And I think that's not really the best move.
Now, if we take, for example, your personal opinion about this, are all these regulations and the licensing and the MiCAR and are they hindering us in the crypto market? Or are you saying no? They are helping us, but they are slowing us down? Or do you say, no, this is the way it's supposed to be?
I think they're helping us, but slowing us a bit down.
Yeah.
Because I think it's necessary also for consumer protection that there are regulations. Before MiCA, everybody could issue a token. And you know what happened a few years ago with all those coins and all those ICOs that happened. So I think that's not really well for the trust and also for the consumers and for the investment part and the professional part. But I also think it's really necessary for the enterprises and the professional side to bring in their liquidity and to have this faith in the trading, but also using the technology, using it for different kind of tokenization cases, stable coins, that there is this framework where they can move between, right?
Yeah, I understand.
So I think that's an important part. And on the other hand, indeed, there are also rules in that regulation. And that's also what I discussed on stage with OKX and Flow Traders that is really hindering them, and mainly the retail side, to do those kind of trades and transactions. So,
and what would you say the alternative would be to those regulations?
I think we need to learn and iterate more quickly, right? So I think government and the regulators are, of course, slowly moving. And regulation is always slowly moving because you're seeing what needs to happen, and you write it really down, and you let it check by 100 people, which is good. Only that's slowing things down. I think if you can iterate more quickly, and I know there's like a MiCA 2 upcoming, I think that's helpful, right? But listen to the market. what is necessary, right? So go in conversation with those exchanges, but also on the enterprise side, have those conversations. What is necessary? What do they need? What do they have every day in their business? What is hindering them or what is helping them? And I think it's happening more. So I think there are more conversations, but I think it can,
There's not enough conversations.
I think not enough. No.
Point. Very good point. Now, when you started your actual panel, there was a question on stage saying liquidity or sentiment. What's
Yeah.
more important?
Yeah.
What was your answer?
I said, I think firstly, sentiment, and then secondly, liquidity. But I also think,
Happy to hear that.
but I also think they're, combined, right? So,
And I'll tell you why
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
yeah,
Elon Musk can tweet and make someone a millionaire.
I know.
Donald Trump can tweet and make someone poor.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with liquidity.
No.
So when I saw the question and I
Yeah.
saw like almost 80 people actually give an answer, and I saw that liquidity was the one who won, in the back of my mind, I'm like, something's wrong when it comes to the education of
Yeah.
the people sitting in here when it comes to sentiment. Because you can have a lot of liquidity, but one tweet, and it doesn't matter how much liquidity you have.
No, and I also think it works the other way around. So if an enterprise is putting a lot of liquidity in the market, and the next day Donald Trump or Elon Musk is posting something, and half of their value is gone, then it also makes that there's less liquidity in the market for the coming months because the other companies are thinking twice, right? So I think that's not helping. No, I agree. I think sentiment is still hot, but also, like I said before, I think it's less of impact. I know people know now that the market is going up and down. But still, if I talk to people also on a birthday, right, it's still like, Kim, crypto, it's like criminal money, a lot of energy.
Make it more interesting. It all comes down to the doelgroep in Dutch. Yeah, it's a Dutch word. The doelgroep, the target group. Why?
Target
Because
audience.
you talk to, well, my age. You go 40 plus.
Yeah.
Liquidity is important because we look at liquidity.
Yeah.
But 30 and below, they just care about sentiment. They're in Discord, they're in Telegram. And if Telegram tells them, hey, this token is hot, it doesn't really matter what the liquidity is.
Yeah.
They're going to buy it because it was told through Telegram and X. So in the world we're living now, sentiment is very important. And then for us from Bitcoin Magazine, we deal with sentiment.
Yes.
We're a news platform.
Yeah.
So we are bringing sentiment forward.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. So from your panel, did you enjoy your panel?
Oh, yes, I did. I think it was really nice to be on
If
stage.
you want to basically bring one thing from your panel and say this was the most important part of it, what would it be?
I would say the combination of the three companies that were on stage. I think it was really interesting to hear from an exchange perspective and also a very big trader. And then from my perspective, I'm more on the enterprise side. It was a really good combination, I would say. What really triggered me was the story from OKX about the regulations, right? Because I agree that it's also slowing their retail side down. And also with stablecoins, yes, it's beautiful if we generate them more and use them more in Europe. But with regards to interest, right? If you can earn some interest on it, that's really hard here due to the regulations. And in the US, it's possible. So it's really not providing an equal level playing field, to say so. So I think that was one of the key things that I was taking along with me also in my conversations in my daily job. Like, yes, we really need to, navigate and level the playing fields. Yeah.
And your actual keynote, what was the most important part of your keynote?
I would say the most important part is the combination of stablecoins because it's like daily in the news.
Yeah.
But that's also providing more liquidity in the crypto markets. It's really giving an impulse towards the whole market if companies specifically believe in the usage of it, because then the bigger inflow comes, right? So then we're not talking about sentiment, but about the liquidity. And it's really possible in 2026. So I really believe that next year, because I also already see companies coming to us last year, they want to build a strategy, what to do, what is next. And not only enterprises in retail or consumer business, but also the financial industry is really shifting their minds. Like, okay, 5 years ago, we said no to crypto. Now it's time. And yes, you can say maybe they're late to the party, but I still think
Could be late.
never be late. And also, I still really believe a lot of people believe or trust their bank. And that's what you said with the target audience, right? Below 30, they use other neobanks, Revolut. They don't really mind.
Exactly.
But above, I still think where your parents are banking, you will bank as well. Yeah, one of the big 3 banks in the Netherlands. And then if you can also add some crypto to your banking account,
Yeah.
why not? And even if you're already investing at other crypto exchanges, I still think you would have it as a second platform.
Yeah.
Also to have your crypto
Little bit
safely
of
stored. Yeah.
That's very good. So the key takeaway, the time has come. Now is the time to start moving in a direction that's going to lead us to major adoption. That's going to lead us to mainstream. Maybe not here in the Netherlands yet. We're running a little bit behind, but we are going to get there. And thanks to all of you who keep watching our videos, we're going to keep pushing adoption. We are live today from Crypto Congress 2025. Kim, thank you very much for the time. Thank you very much for your very wise words. And we are all looking forward to 2026.
Thank you.
Welcome.